Time for another board game review, and this time we have the game Hammered Heroes. This was sent to me by the designers Clancy Bundy, Adam Boyd, and Adam Harum. Hammered Heroes is a card battle game where hammered heroes compete with your opponent's numbered heroes for quest cards. Cheap shots are used by players to disrupt your opponent's plans or increase your chances of winning. After 5 rounds, the player with the most quest card points wins. But be wary, curses and party fouls abound. Roll the dreaded black mark and you may be well on your way to getting 86 from the game. Let me show you how to play. Alright, so in Hammered Heroes, you are basically trying to get the most quest card points after 5 rounds. Now, there's a quest deck and the top card gets flipped over. And this card says, High card wins. You get 6 points. Mead me in Valhalla. Now, something I did like is that they have little recipes for drinks on the bottom, which is cute. But yeah, and there's also a dice symbol. We'll get into that in a second. So what happens is each player starts with 5 hammered heroes and 5 cheap shots. Then each player will play a hammered hero face down. So it could be something like this. Porlock's Fortune Weller. So this does, when played, roll the die. 1 to 3, discard 1 cheap shot, draw 2 more. Now the top right is the point value of the card. Or I could just play very simple, Maximus Drunkimus, which is just 11 points. So I'll play that face down, because in a high card battle, I would want a high score. Each player will then play a hero, and then you reveal them. Now, ones with abilities, you play them, or you trigger them when they are revealed. This one says, when played, roll the die. If you roll a 1 to 3, discard a cheap shot, draw 2 more. In this case, they failed. And this is Gimlet the Gnome, which is just 7 points. So, once all the heroes have been revealed, then each player has the chance to play a cheap shot. Cheap shots are cards that can augment your character or screw with your opponent. So you might play something like Lowball, where you roll the party foul die and an opponent must roll the party foul die twice. You could also do Buff Shrink, which could give plus or minus 3 to your active hero. In this case, it wouldn't help much, but you have the option. There are cards like Curses, like Rusty Nails, that cancel any character abilities, cheap shots, or curses. I'm not going to go through every single type of cheap shot, but there's another one, Heal Party Foul, return one of your Party Foul tokens. Now, you don't know what Party Fouls are yet. Let me get into that. But basically, each player has the option to play a cheap shot. At the end of the battle, the last hammered hero standing wins. So in this case, it'd be the highest card. Some other examples of quests could be low card wins, or there's another high card. Well, they're all similar-ish. Once you finish a round, you flip over a new quest card, everyone draws 2 new cheap shots, and then you pass turn order. Now, if there's ever a tie, you roll the party foul die. So this is the party foul die. If you roll a black mark, you gain a party foul token and lose the tie. So, well, let's say I rolled one. You get a party foul token. If both players roll black marks, you roll again until only one of you rolls a black mark. Party fouls, once you have 5 of these party foul tokens, you are out of the game. Now, whenever you see an icon with a black die on it, let me show you, there was one before. This one means you roll 2 party foul rolls. If it's white, that means you make somebody else roll a party foul. Let me just pull into those. Like tapped out here. Opponent draws 5 from the Hammered Heroes deck. They choose one to replace their active hero and discard the rest. But then they have to roll a party foul. At some point, it might behoove you to remove yourself from a round. If you don't want to get any more party fouls or waste your precious cheap shots, you can always run away or fold. Once you run away from a round, you are not allowed to play any more cheap shots. There are also some optional rules to play when you're playing with people who are drinking. They're all on here. I'm not going to go into all of them, but it's the, get a party foul, you drink, stuff like that. That's pretty much the game, is just play a card face down, play cheap shot cards to try to get people to roll the die to get party foul tokens or, you know, mess with people's totals. I guess just some other examples. You got your, like I've showed some before, it's either these are your buffs or shrinks that can give you +2 or -2 to heroes. This is another way to get or switch heroes, draw 3 heroes from the deck, choose one, replace yours, discard the rest. They're all pretty similar to this, but that's pretty much the game. You put down cards, play cheap shots, try to have the best card for the quest. You get the points. Otherwise, in this case, you would get the points, but then you would have to roll a party foul die and try not to get eliminated. And that's the game. So I don't drink much anymore due to medical reasons. If I did, though, do I think this would be a fun drinking game? Probably not. This game is a little too fiddly with its math and its numbers, where I highly doubt anyone would have the patience for this while tipsy, never mind drunk. There's all these little modifiers you add to cards, and oh, and this gets modified to this. The problem with a lot of games like this, where values get modified by cards, is that there is no way to elegantly track a card's modified value. In other games, they have like a thing where you can just move it up and down on like a little track, so you always know what the number is for the card, even if there are a bunch of cards played on it. But in this game, and a lot of other games like it, you got to remember everyone's, okay, you're always checking like, okay, so this card is on here, what it has this card and this card, so it's +2, -3, and again, this would become more and more impossible the more drinks you had in you. You got to constantly check and go, what's your value? Okay, it's frankly very tedious. Otherwise, I'm personally not a fan of the art. I think it's a little rough around the edges for me. It's going for that slightly gross out factor that I'm just not the target audience for. The party foul dice is kind of fun in theory, but in practice it's annoying to remember, okay, black means you roll, white means you don't roll. Why? Again, just for a drinking game, adding little fiddly rules like which color means do I have to roll? I don't get the coloring system. And with so few die faces, like there's only one black mark, it's not that entertaining to roll the die because it's just blank, blank, blank. Like, have that die be more chaotic or something. If this is a drinking game and you're gonna have a bunch of, shenanigans going on, don't make the die so eventless. Now, when I played this, we didn't play this as a drinking game because none of us had any drinks on us. So all the fiddly issues still apply, but you don't even have the benefit of being tipsy or drunk. So, quite frankly, it's just kind of a pretty plain, vaguely tedious, annoying to play game that is trying to be like Munchkin, like a lot of other games do, but not really getting there. And Munchkin is not even like a gold standard game, so the fact that it can't even reach Munchkin's level is kind of rough.